Okay, now's another test. Now I've only watching one channel, number one. It doesn't really matter which channel, although, well, the pulse does, but I'll tell you about it later. What we're watching for is when the trigger is first triggered, when the switch is first initiated. And so we're sitting here on 0 on trigger 1, and we're going to get a jump in the scope. There it is. You see it? It just hit the lobe right there, hit the lobe. And now I'm going to watch it until it comes off. There. You see that? It came off the lobe. Now, I've been mapping this out, and what I'm getting, I measure how many teeth rotate past before it comes off and on the lobe. And what I'm finding is it's on the lobe a small amount. Now, that means we have two settings here. That's the common. And then one of these could be the go, and one of these could be the break. Now, since they're off, one is going to be here and another one is going to be here, you can decide which one do you want to have on. One is going to be on more than the other. And, or off, whichever you look. But so when it's on, you have break, and when it's on, you have go. So you got to pick which one. So you have to think, do we need more puff than break? Do we want it to be like that? Or do we want the puff to be short and the break to be long? And then you can also, by design of the cam, stretch it out and make it more equal, more 50-50. That's a whole another engineering aspect to this thing. Now with the scope, watching the triggers, I don't have to do the board to do that. We know the board will work once we get a good signal into it. We'll get a nice even signal into it, and we'll know how then to tune everything else to adjust. This is all part of the engineering process. Okay, I'm not inventing new things. I'm discovering the sensitivities of the system, and then what can I do about it? I can change that cam profile very easily over on the CAD program. Just bulge it out or push it in, widen it, print a new one, screw it in, turn it on, and test it. Bingo. It takes a couple hours. Same thing with this guy. Fidgeting with it's going to take a couple of hours. But my problem is I'm worried that's not going to be repeatable with the magnets and all that. It's going to be always, what does that mean? Here, the switch is a bought part. It's consistent. I got a bag of them. This cam, I can print as many as I want once I get the profile. Everything else is concrete. You build two, and they'll both do the same thing. Here you build two, and each one's got to be custom manipulated multiple ways. Magnet placement, magnet spacing, strength of the magnet, location, in and out and back and forth and up and down of the reed switch, because that magnetic field is very, I don't want to say nebulous, but it's, you can't see it, right? Here at least I can measure the cam lobes and also the trigger time. Well, I'm going to try to measure the trigger time over there because I have to say it looked pretty even. So I'm going to see what that's all about. But man, this is we're getting down into the nuts and bolts here, boys and girls. We are really ripping into the nitty gritty. But it's the only way we'll understand when we see poor smoke and a lousy synchronization and all that. We'll know what that means, and we'll know what we have to do and where do we go to do it. And we may find, one device lends itself to all of that setup process easier than something else. So you got to do it. And here it is, right? 4:30 on Friday. I should be further along, and I'm not. I'm actually kind of just treading water. But I want to make this, I want to make it right, make it good. So it's a tough call, You throw stuff together, you end up with stuff. If you engineer it, you end up with precision, and that's where we really want to be in the end. Okay, gang, later.